What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday to everybody. Oh my goodness, so much has gone on these past couple of days. It's kind of ridiculous, and of course, I got my man Warren. He's on standby. Let's go ahead and actually bring him in so that we can actually hit the ground running. Because I know he's about to actually be in the middle of a thunderstorm, and this man is outside. So we'll see. All right, cool. Hey, what is up, Eric? What is up, my man? What is up? Oh man, what is? Oh, we got family on the. What is up, right? Oh man, that's great. Um, so I just sent him the invite. We're about to get on here in a second. Let's see here. First of all, thank you to everybody who is on. Yes, what is up? Oh man, it's always good to have family on the line. So a lot has happened, right? Especially in terms of credit for me. I don't know if you all know a lot about credit, but oh goodness, credit can be such a beautiful thing. If you're financially responsible, though, if you're not financially responsible, I would not advise you to open up credit cards. But if you are, it can be a beautiful thing. And oh my goodness, what is up, Warren? What is
What's
up?
popping? What is popping?
A great day. We actually have family watching again. So I mean, I that that is that. I mean that shit just made it for me. So
It
it
says
doesn't
we've
really
got
matter.
yeah, it says we got two people on here. Now, do you and me count as? Oh, now I think nobody's on anymore, but that's all right. Whatever.
So
Who
so
cares?
I guess whenever that does happen, that's two other people, but
Mhm.
it don't matter. This is mainly for the podcast anyways, and so viewers and listeners right now are just getting a very special treat. Um, But yeah, so man, how's your week been going, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend's been good. It's Sunday, right? Yeah, it is Sunday. My weekend has been a restful weekend. It was a little bit lazy. I needed to take
Yeah.
some time off, so I kind of rested my mind, rested my body for a little bit. But I woke up this morning and kind of got back to work, and it's been good though, man. It's been awesome. It looks like it's about to thunderstorm here in Nashville, so I may be
Ooh,
trapped at this coffee shop for a hot little minute, and they just closed. Uh, so we'll see what happens, but I'm not worried about those things outside
what
of my
time did they
control.
officially close?
I think 5, but I'm outside of the
Okay.
porch, so if they kick me off,
Okay, bet.
then I guess I'll just walk around. I don't know, but somewhere where I can be under something to record this. I'll walk over maybe under that gas station or something, or maybe under one of those canopies. But I just wanted to get this done, and make sure
What
that I
is
was in a
up,
good
Ryan McKinney?
place. Oh yeah, what's up?
Oh
Welcome.
yeah.
It seems like you get notifications when people join far before I do, because you'll be like, "What's up?" and I'll be like, "I don't see anybody on." And then like a minute later, it'll be like Ryan has joined. Like, oh, okay, that's who. Yeah,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Have to give our listeners, even if you come in for a split second, we always want to show love.
yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
but man, so you out there, you about to hit the thunderstorm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so let's really kind of hop into it. Um, now I'll let the viewers and listeners know now. We're gonna really hop into this now because I know you have something to do at 7, and this is kind of a pressing issue on my chest, and one that I think that a lot of us deal with more often than not. Um, and because it's very easy to, I guess, have that positive energy whenever we are on our highs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's very easy to ride that momentum, but I think what people really underappreciate is really having that same energy in the midst. What's up, Ramiro? Really having that same energy in the midst of those negative outside forces, right?
Yeah.
Because it because it goes deeper into just like how to do it for like your own good, but like it ultimately has an effect on like how you perceive
Hmm.
like a lot of these situations, right?
Oh, 100%, man. I think you're talking about external energies. I think the most important thing to think about is like what's worth thinking about, like what's worth giving your attention to. For example, like I have no control over the weather. Now, like I can see now that it's about to storm, so now would be a good time to take action. But earlier in the day, for me to worry about, now sure with weather apps and whatnot, like it makes it a little bit easier, but for me to worry about the weather would be a waste of my energy because I can't control
Yes,
it. I can't control
absolutely.
it. So why would I even worry about it? And I think we may have talked about this on the last call. We have our actions, our thoughts, and our words. And beyond those three things, you have no control over what's going on. So it's really not necessarily. I would say it's not necessarily about just being able to like take negative energy. I mean, sure, you can take negative energy and make it positive, but also just the ability to ignore it and the ability to, like a rock in a river, the water flows around this rock and the rock stays put. You know, Whatever comes at you, you need to be grounded enough to stay put and not let it push you around. And I think that's important, and I think that it really just comes down to emotional discipline with with
You said it comes
that.
down to a what in discipline?
I would say emotional discipline.
Okay.
Emotional discipline, yeah, because something happens and you get all riled up. I mean, I know how you guys, like, for me, like if I'm on a call and like somebody hangs up on me or something like that, I'll be like, "Oh, you mother!" But like I'll get pit for like half a second, but then I'll, move on, next number.
Mm.
So, understanding when those emotions do arise, whether they're suiting you
What is up,
or
Kara?
hurt. Hey, Kara, yeah, thanks for hopping on, and Lydia. Um,
Oh, I
Figuring
see.
out,
I didn't see.
what emotions are suiting you and what emotions are screwing you, I think is really
Mm.
important. Like anger can be used to get shit done, but like most of the time, it's
Absolutely.
just gonna screw you over. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think a lot of times too, if you haven't found your happiness within, you know, it doesn't really matter how much progress you make, you are always susceptible. You are always vulnerable
Yeah,
to being affected by these external forces. But when it's like you and me, and for some people out there, we're going through these negative, you know what I'm saying? But because of the fact that we're focusing on our daily wins, because of the fact like we don't have to have a one big home run, because of the fact that even after a home run, we can strike out six more times, and you know what I'm saying, like get a RBI, and that's still a good win for us. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. Exactly, man. It's yeah, just understanding. You know, it, it's for me. Um, like you're talking about finding that inner happiness. Just knowing that you're gonna die anyway, and that everybody else is gonna die anyway. So taking things less seriously, I think, can really help people kind of find that foundation of security, or at least find that emotional base to operate off of. We have an operating system that we're using, um, and
Oh yeah. And
oftentimes,
Ramiro said, "Gratitude is the currency that we must distribute always. It is our duty."
yes.
Back
I
to
see. I
you.
can't even see that comment. Like, why can't I see that comment? What's go
Back to
What's
you.
going on? What's going on here? Why can't I see that comment? No, it'll
Oh
probably pop up here
man,
in a few minutes. But yeah, yeah.
that's all
So,
right.
so we all have an operating system that we're operating off of, and until you discipline your own mind, that operating system has been put in place by other people, and
Mm, that's key. That's
usually it's
key right
yeah,
there.
usually it's not in your
Can,
best interest. Usually it's meant to
can you
to
repeat
control
that
you.
for all our viewers and listeners out there, because that might
Yes,
have just went.
Yeah, so we're all working off an operating system, just like when you have a computer and you pull up iTunes. It's a system, and we all have an operating system, a lens that we're seeing and interacting with the world through. And
Hmm.
until you intentionally create that operating system for yourself,
Mm.
other people have created it for you. And
Yes.
especially if you're young, we're older. No, we're pretty young, but we are older than like teenagers, and
Right.
until you kind of start to experience that self-awareness, your operating system has been created by your parents, the school, and maybe your church, whatever, what other institutions you've been a part of. But there comes a time where you're going to either have to, well, no, I mean, you're either going to have to keep dealing with the same troubles that you've been dealing with, or you're going to have to redo your operating system. And in the lifeblood of that operating system, or at least the response and reaction program of that operating system, is your emotions. Your emotions are flags and signs that come to you based on external circumstances, what's going on around you, but also, also internally, you do have internal emotions. If you're like analyzing yourself or something, but your emotions kind of tell you what's going on in the world around you, and how to respond to it or how to feel about it. You know, and if you're
And
just
I definitely think that like a lot of times whenever you're saying like sometimes you're gonna have to reboot your system for, you know what I'm saying, like to update yourself. I think a lot of times we think, oh, like trash all of the old, and it's like nah, it's basically like doing a security patch update because you still want to keep everything that you learn because that's your foundation. That's the thing
some
that
of
you know what I'm
some of
saying,
it.
like some of it, but like just you know what I'm saying, but like with all the holes that's within the software, you can patch that up, you
Yeah.
know, and if all in all, you know, because there's some people out there that are gonna be like you and I and really try to go through the whole college experience and then have a complete transformation and really flip everything upside down and be like, I'm gonna do this entrepreneurship thing. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna do it without a 9 to 5. Like it's not gonna be anywhere related to my field. Like it's just gonna be solely my passion. And so you're definitely right. Like sometimes then you do have to do the whole reboot. Brad Jones said, "Until you find your inner peace, you will follow others blindly, following social pressures without a reason, and sometimes pretending to be something different
Yes.
to your true self."
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Excellent. I
Hell
love
yeah.
that we have savvy listeners on the line. Oh man.
They
What is
have.
up, Caroline?
Yeah.
What
That's
is up, Sid? Oh man, what's up, Sterling? Um, oh man,
hell
we
yeah.
have some savvy people on the line for sure. Like, yes, I love it. Yes, if you're feeling something, comment something. What is up, Latif? If you're feeling something that we said, hell yeah, Sid said 100. Yes, sir. If you're feeling anything, definitely drop a comment. We will shout that out for real, for real. Um, man, I'm just so happy that we got some savvy listeners on the line. What is up, Wes? Um,
Yeah, man. And
that
if
is
and
just
if
great.
if you guys are gonna choose, you could say like the entrepreneur or the self-propelled path of life, where you are telling yourself what to do and you are choosing to not do what somebody else tells you to do. You could go get a 9 to 5 and have a very structured life and probably be okay. Um, or like the tougher path is to kind of create that own structure in your life, which is the hardest thing about it.
Mhm.
Because like I don't have to wake up at 8 a.m. Like I could sleep all day if I really wanted to, and like
Right.
I would not face
But
any
but
immediate
like I really
repercussions.
don't think that most people can deal with that type of power though.
That's the
Because
thing.
you
That's
give
the thing.
most people like that type of power, there literally are like people that will sleep until like 10 to 12. Fucking you know what I'm saying? Like they take a shower, eat, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
They do like
With great
three
power
hours of
comes
work away. You
great
feel me?
responsibility,
You
and
feel me?
you cannot handle that responsibility on your default operating system. It's not going to fucking happen because you have not been programmed to be able to handle something like that. You have been programmed to listen to what people tell you to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're in
And
class and the teacher tells you to line up and you stay in that fucking line. And then you walk where she tells you to walk. Listen, guys, our entire lives we have been programmed to do what other people tell us to do. Okay?
hey,
So there's some
it's not a
serious
lie.
rewiring that has to be done if you're going to want to, break out of this system, you know?
For
That's what I
sure.
was
And I've just now, so like, I think right now would be, well, I guess for like any job I've had, I've eventually quit all the way just to seek out my entrepreneurial side. But what I can say, if you do find a job that is even okay, and honestly speaking, even a job that isn't okay, because I want people to understand, like, when we say grind, like, we're talking about doing, like, whenever we say doing stuff that no one else wants to do, we mean that. And for some of you, like, I know you're working out a job that you don't like right now, and I know you're thinking, oh, like, I could go ahead and do this. But let's be real here. You can utilize what you're doing right now to
Yeah.
afford what you're trying to seek out. And for a lot of you, you're complaining that you're making $8 an hour, $10 an hour, whatever have you. But I just want you for time to time, or whenever you think of that, go online and look at third world developing countries and what they do for a living. Okay? Just
Or go to
look
a
at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
Yeah.
have some perspective here. Like, one of my very, very good friends who lives down in Jamaica right now, he's not, like, it doesn't matter where he works at. He's probably not making any more than $3 an hour, folks, in USD. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, we are privileged.
Yeah,
And
and
for
this
most of us who's saying this don't have good money management anyways.
yeah,
But
one
what's
thing like the worst thing so I've had so many friends who have been in some sort of form of entrepreneurship and then like it'll fall apart and then they will refuse to get a job because their pride gets in the way of them taking. Listen, motherfucker, like
mm,
you do what you need to do to put food in your stomach and take care of your family. If that
thank you.
requires you going to a 9 to 5, then you do it.
and then and then you
Don't
come
ever
back. What are you doing
then you
from
come
6
back.
to 11? What are
Yeah,
you
from
doing from
six. What
6 to 12? Right?
exactly, 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 exactly. You do what you need to do to sustain your existence and then whatever family you may have. That's just bottom line. Bottom line. Do you know how much? Do you know? You take some of those. Imagine if you said, "Hey, I'm opening up a sandwich shop. It's got AC in Ethiopia or wherever." Like, you know how many people would be putting in applications to work there? like,
Come
you,
on,
like
come
seriously.
on, Warren.
Like, hey,
Talk to him.
here's something stable that'll give you money. Hey, AC, like you gotta be inside. Like,
Talk to him,
what the
because
fuck?
people think that we trying to be, or like we trying to slight, but we not
Yeah,
playing. Like, people would kill to
you
have a
know.
$7 like that's why
Okay.
that's why I get so mad whenever people say, oh, Brad Jones with
Mm,
some words here. He says sometimes you have to just look at your surroundings and appreciate what you have. For me, that and accepting yourself is the start of inner peace. Yes.
beautiful,
Savvy.
beautiful. I
Savvy.
love it. I love it, man. Yeah, Brad. I've known Brad for about. I met Brad like
Some
five
people
years
would
ago.
kill for this bed I lay in.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I met Brad like 5 years ago. We were really young, in Mexico, at a at like a I don't even know. It was like on vacation or something. And like me and him
Hmm.
have just developed so much since we met. Like it's crazy. I'm glad that me and him are still in touch. Yeah, I'm glad that
That's
you hopped on,
awesome.
Brad.
And it's just like, yo, like, I even get mad whenever people are like, oh, like, those illegals are taking, like, those are jobs that you don't even want. Like, like,
Yeah.
what, like, oh my goodness, like, and bruh, like, I think that Hispanics are some of the hardest working people on this freaking planet, bruh. Like, especially with the stuff that they have to deal with.
Hmm.
Like, you're telling me that, like they're happy to make the minimum. They ain't making that back in Mexico.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, come on. And like, even if they are, like, the daily troubles that that probably go on down there. Like it's a whole lot different whenever you can go, you know what I'm saying, work for these landscaping companies or construction companies or whatever have you, and just be able to send that back.
Or just
So
people
it's just
who,
like
I mean, even just like manual labor is a bitch and something like,
manual
but
labor is what,
there's always going to be
especially in
somebody
this
working.
heat.
There's always going to be somebody working harder than you.
What's up,
There's
James
always
Jones?
there's always going to be somebody working harder than you, and that's just important. Oh yeah,
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 Brad Jones is shouting you out, my play. He said, "Nice one." Uh, I followed you through all your journeys, bodybuilding to now. Yes.
dude,
What's
yeah,
up, Dallas?
yeah.
Kaye, yes, sir.
But yeah, I want to. Did we talk about stoicism on the last call? I think we may have.
We probably mentioned it briefly, but just kind of break down what that is. And James Jones said, "Bro, I've done construction for going on 8 years." Yes,
Yeah, man.
yes,
Yeah, that's hard
yeah.
fucking work. It's meat
Hell
cane.
yeah. He said it's me Kane, and okay, okay, okay. Hell yeah. And
Hmm.
so, I think we might have talked about it briefly, but just break down kind of what that is and kind of your take on that.
It's just a philosophy that I want y'all to understand. Um, so Stoicism has a lot of philosophers who are like Marcus Aurelius
What's
and
up, Jake?
Epictetus were two of the philosophers who kind of promoted this. So the whole idea behind Stoicism is that I'm going to do the river analogy again. Y'all have all been next to a roaring river, and y'all have all seen that big rock that's in that river, right in the middle of those rapids, that creates those rapids, but that rock does not move. That rock has no control over how hard that water hits it, how much water is hitting it, what direction the water is hitting it from, and it doesn't worry about it. It stays put. And you need to think of your life as that river and you as that rock. Now you have control over three things, which are your words, your actions, and your thoughts. And like thoughts, like borderline, because like a lot of the thoughts that we have are not even our own. But like words and actions, like intentional thoughts. Um, Everything outside of those three categories, you don't have control over. So for you to stress or give energy to those things, you're dissipating your energy into places where it's not going to come back to you. For example, like Marcus Aurelius talks about complaining. He says there's never any reason to complain because you're either complaining about something that's out of your control, which means you're not going to be able to do anything about it, so why complain? Or you're complaining about something that is in your control, and instead of complaining, you could just get up and go do something about it. So it's the whole idea that like stop whining, stop whining.
And people really like to skip that second part.
Yeah,
And I know that sometimes I'm even at fault about it because and like that's the reason why I'm trying to really bring it to light because it is something that we more often than not deal with on a daily basis, sometimes without us even knowing it, because subconsciously we're wired to think, oh no, it's somebody else's fault. Like, no, like
hmm,
in order to really do this the right way, like you have to be intentional about it. Like you have to be intentional. Otherwise, like subconsciously, you are gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like the road less travel. I mean, you have to go about the road less traveled by. But it's like
yeah.
the path of least resistance is always there too.
Literally, like the minute that you stop blaming other people for your problems is when you will finally have the wheel of your life back in your hands. Like as long as you are saying that other people are responsible for things in your life, like as long as that's a pattern, then you're just going to keep seeing the same misfortunes. And you, and I guarantee you that if you are sitting there at home and you feel like other people are responsible for things in your life, then you're talking about misfortunes. We like to take credit for the good things and then give the blame uh, for bad things to
Oh,
others. Like the good things,
ooh.
we did the good things. Other people caused the bad things. It's funny how human beings are so
I was about
selfish.
to say it's funny.
Yeah, human beings are pieces of shit most of the time. They're just like
Oh
emotional
man.
messes. That's why you have to really understand some of these philosophies, and before you can implement these things in your head, like you have to first hear somebody talk about them or read them in a book or feel them. But like you've been exposed to some of these things on this podcast, so either change or don't fucking call me or Matt. Like, change or leave us alone. All right,
Or like
because
at least be willing to change, or
or
like
be
have a
willing to, yeah,
wantonness to change,
have
like
a
because
wantingness to
there's
change.
some people out there that it's just like, we hear you, we hear you, we hear you, but it's just like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
go
know what I'm
walk around
saying?
now because it looks like the weather's clearing up. So I'm gonna go on a walk while
Uh-oh.
we're talking. But yeah, just around the neighborhood. But yeah,
No,
you
you
know,
good.
like you really, I don't blame anybody for anything. But here's the thing: is like once you truly get to the point where you put all the responsibility on yourself, you're gonna get really depressed for a little bit, because all of it, like you're gonna realize that you have not been doing, everything that you could have been doing to make
Listen,
yourself a
listeners,
success,
because listen,
and
because this is
and you're gonna
important.
be you're gonna be really hard on yourself, and you're gonna get sad, like you're gonna get sad, and there's gonna be a disconnect. Like, why am I not doing these things? And I still struggle with this. There's still things that I know that I could be doing that I'm not doing. Um, every single day, at the end of the day, I always realize, hey man, I should have done that, or I should have not hung out with that person, and I should have gone and hung out with that person, or put my time somewhere else. And that's just part of it. But at least you're having that dialogue with yourself, and you're not
Thank
bringing
you.
another person into it. You know,
Thank you.
that's kind of what's important. Is just
Thank
self
you.
reliance, like self dependence. Like that's the fucking key, guys. Is being your own machine, being your own engine, and not letting other people's currents come in and change your viewpoint. Like, accept your losses, accept your failures, take total responsibility for them.
Exactly. And I think that like, so whenever we talk about, taking on, all the negative energy from, whatever it might be,
Mm-hmm.
I think what's important is that first to, well, not really first, but at some point, because obviously you have to find out where the bleeding is happening, and then you have to acknowledge that yes, like it's an actual problem, and so then whenever you go about fixing it, and I think oh, you came back, um, and so whenever you go back to fixing it, I think a critical part of that process is not being able to channel it, but having something to channel to, because I think that a lot of times that we don't have things in place to channel all of this negative energy, so like we're just taking it on, like we don't know where to put it all, so it's just in us, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But like whenever you can, uh perfect example, whenever I take on negative energy, a lot of times what relieves me is this podcast, is is really doing about this, because it's not like I'm sitting here ranting about somebody else or trash talking somebody else or sitting here saying like no, 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 no. It's just highlighting the very real things that I'm really going through, and like to really talk about it with somebody, to really break it down, because that kind of stuff is important, because on some of these things it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? So we're not sitting here saying like we're on this high pedestal here and we don't sit here and deal with stuff. Like, no, we're all humans at the end of the day, but I at least want this podcast to make you aware that, yo, in order to do anything, you have to acknowledge that, yo, I messed up. I
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah.
Let's
Everything.
see. Who?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I missed all these people. Why am I missing all? Allie, Ray, Jordan, Steve, Nick, Chad, Theo, Lawrence. What is
I don't
up?
see. I don't see
Uh,
any of these names.
Travis,
What
what
the
is up?
the hell are you
Brad
looking at?
Jones, bruh.
That's,
Oh man, Brad
sometimes.
Jones done
Yeah.
done
Read
said
that
something
comment.
great.
Yeah, let's read that
Uh,
comment out loud.
Brad Jones said, sometimes I have talks to myself if I'm in a rough situation about my life or business, but you have to stay positive firstly. You have to stay positive firstly. Have that self belief that what you're doing is right. Secondly, and then thirdly, you need to be honest, understand, and identify what is the cause of your problem, and then think of realistic solutions. Equally, though, I think to keep on track, you need to accept and welcome the downfalls, as they are all lessons to learn from, and which in turn makes you a smarter person, emotionally stronger
Woo!
person. At the end of the day, it is about finding a positive in anything negative, and that is how you move forward. Oh my goodness. Brad
Fire,
Jones.
fire. That was straight fire. That was amazing. Thank you,
Whew.
thank you for sharing that, Brad.
Thank you so much, Brad Jones. Goodness gracious. Oh man, it's dropping that heat, boy. Oh
Yeah,
man,
man.
we might have to start doing this weekly, like just to do the live. You know what I'm
Dude, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. I mean, we had,
saying?
every single week we'll get more people on here, man. That's what's going to happen. What was I
Oh
going to say? I was
man.
going to say. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So, so everything that is happening, everything in your life, well, not just like you, Matt, like anybody watching this, like everything that is happening in your life is the result of a a thought that you had that then led to an action or a word that came out from you. Like everything that's going on right now is a result of actions and words from your past, which means that it's all in your control. You change the input and you change the output. 2 plus
What's
2
up,
equals
Bill
4,
Williams?
but 2 plus 3 equals 5, you
Mm,
know? And all you got to do is
mm.
you got to turn that 2 into a 3 and then you'll get a 5.
It change your variables. Okay,
Change
okay.
change your variables. Yeah. Yeah. You just change what you're putting in. If you know that if you're not
What's up,
happy with
Cameron?
how much money you have and you know that for every 10 phone calls you make, you close one deal and you're making 10 calls a day, okay, make 30 calls a day and you'll be making 3 times as much money. Like,
What's up, Virginia Reed?
oh
Hmm.
yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Cameron Baker, turn this corner, walk down this way.
But yeah, man, like you're definitely onto something, man. Talk to him,
Well,
because I mean that's really key right there.
I mean, yeah, it's like I mean, it all comes back to the self, right here. Can y'all read that or is it backwards? Hold on.
It's backwards as hell.
Okay, we can read it now though, right?
Yeah, through discipline comes freedom. Oh,
So there's a reason, and that's my only tattoo. But Marcus Aurelius spoke those words, and I was telling y'all about him. Oh, check this out right here. Look at this.
ooh,
Fucking
wow.
legends. Elvis, Jimi Hendrix, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton,
Then they got Dolly on there.
Bob Dylan, Hank Williams.
Wow,
Wow, what a fucking awesome fence. What an awesome fence.
wow, that's wild, bro.
Yeah, man. Oh, look at this one. I'll show y'all this one. Who's on this one? They've got Greg Allman. Oh, Otis,
Mm,
Jimmy Mitchell, Jim Lauderdale, Lou Harris, and Simone, Jerry
wow.
Garcia. Oh
They
yeah,
got the
dude.
legends.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, all these people recorded on this block. Like all these people have been here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like this is like this. Hold on. Like this like couple of acres, like a whole lot of music history has happened like at this intersection right here. And then there's my car.
What road are you on?
So this is East Iris.
Okay. And for our listeners on our podcast, he's basically walking down the street right now, and the street that he just named, pretty much there's so much music history involved at the intersection that he's at right now. So if you want to check that out, definitely I'll post a video to this so that you can definitely check that out.
Yeah, yeah. This is the House of Blues recording
House of
studio. So there's
Blues.
Johnny Cash, Aretha Franklin, Albert King,
Ooh,
Paul Perkins, Jimmy Reed, Howlin' Wolf, Ralph Stanley. Nice, nice. Look at that. But yeah, it's really just comes out like that self responsibility thing. Like once you take responsibility, you're gonna have to see. It's easy. It's easy. So if you're hiking up a mountain, of course it's going to be easier for you to give some of your weight to the person walking next to you. Of course it's going to be easier on you to kind of uh, distribute the responsibility to other people. But in your life, you can't do that. And some things, there are times where teamwork is required, but for your emotional well-being and your financial well-being and your stability, that's up to you. You cannot put that weight on anybody else, or they're probably going to let you down.
Mm,
You know, that's really the thing.
mm.
Is like you are either your
Yeah, I know
greatest
that.
enemy or your own best friend. Go sit down right
No,
quick.
Gary Vee has a little video that basically he was talking about how to deal with people that fall short of your expectation, and he was like, "It's easy. I don't have expectations from anybody."
Yep.
So like no one has an impact on me. The only impact that someone can have on me is myself, and I think that that's very key. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that that is so key because a lot of times, even if we say yeah, no strings attached, deep down, like we're like, there's at least one of the motherfuckers attached. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like it might not be the two or three. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like we're at least expecting access to you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? In just in case.
Yeah, man. There's always somebody. People are always going to want something from you. But yeah, I like what you said about Gary Vee. He said he doesn't have expectations for people. And if you don't hold expectations, then everything is a pleasant surprise. Everything good
Everything's
is a
icing
pleasant
on the
surprise.
cake.
Yeah, and then
You
if
know what I'm
something bad,
saying?
and then if something bad happens, like what you should do is you should go into every interaction like expecting somebody to let you down, but hoping that they don't. Because then if they do, then like, all right, whatever, I was expecting that. And if they don't let you down, then fuck yeah, like thank you for doing that for me.
And it's not like seeking out the worst in everybody, but like
No, no,
I
yeah, no.
do I do definitely believe in like giving somebody trust first other than like earning it first because then like it's like okay, well, if I give you trust, okay, cool. But just know, you know what I'm saying, if you break my trust for any reason, then okay, I'll get cause of that because there's plenty of people out there that have messed up that are just looking for a second chance. I mean, even your own arch nemesis can turn into your best ally.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What is up, Cameron? But it's just like where like, and I think a lot of that too because in the situations you're talking about specifically, I think a lot of people are reactive instead of responsive, and I think we really have to break that down because you can't be reactive in your life and expect to get anywhere. But if you respond, it does take a couple of different things, and one of those things is every single day we need to be setting our mind. You know what I'm saying? So that whenever those situations do occur, we know how to respond to that. Because a lot of times we just wake up, brush our teeth, eat breakfast. We may or may not do a little bit of things, you know what I'm saying, for work for the day or check our Instagram or whatever have you, but we spend no time for self-care, for like real self-care. Like we spend no time like relative to the other stuff that we do in the morning and then we wonder why, right? Like we're in
Yeah,
this situation and we feel this type of way.
yeah. Like the first hour of your day can tell a lot about the next 23 hours of your day. Like what you do in the first hour of the day is going to set the pace for the rest of your day. I like,
Absolutely every time.
yeah, like I like to not have my phone on. Um, I like to, not be on my phone in the first 60 minutes at least of the day, just so I don't like put that into my programming for today. Like wake
Mm.
up every day and like treat it like it's a new life, and you really have to kind of protect yourself against all this shit that's coming at us. Like there is shit flying at us every single day. Oh, here we go. Two things that can determine your life, which are natural tools everyone has, are speech and action. If you
Mm.
think about it, the words you choose to piece together throughout your life will determine relationships, business, and everything. Also, it's the same with actions. The difference between your life being great or bad is how you act on a day to day and what you do. You have the ability to do anything or learn anything. It is all about your mental attitude and how you prepare yourself, in my opinion. That's great. That's great, Brad. Fuck yeah.
Dang, Brad.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, Brad. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah, that's my friend. That's my friend. Oh yeah.
He claiming you, Brad. He claiming you. Hey, and I don't blame him.
He's killing it.
Savvy.
He's killing it. Throw up the W.
Savvy, boy.
That Warren squad. Yeah,
What?
no. but but yeah, man, no, it's really the message that people need to take away from this podcast that we did today is that you have to take back responsibility for the things in your life. And while it may feel good in the moment to put that responsibility on other people, it's only going to feel good in the moment. And just like shooting heroin in the moment probably feels pretty good, but like you're going to die afterwards. Like you will get skinny and die and be a fucking alley whore, you know? So things that feel good in the moment, like, don't push your responsibility um, to other people. Like accept the weight of sometimes letting yourself down. Like if that happens, accept the responsibility for doing that, and then just don't do it next time. Just don't do it next time. And that's
Absolutely. And the way to really make that as high as is likelihood as possible is to set your mind so that whenever that problem occurs, you're not reactive. You're responsive. You say, okay, if
yep,
this situation
yep,
comes up, I go to this. Like you have protocol, you have a structure. It's okay to have structure, folks, because you kind of need, I mean, even as you're building out your own life, you're going to need some type of structure, some type of foundation to rely on so that sometimes you don't necessarily have to think about it.
hmm
Because whenever you think about it, a lot of times we put our emotions in it, and for a lot of us, it's hard to think solely on logic. It's hard. So that's why you have a structure in place. That's why we teach discipline. That's why we teach patience. You know what I'm saying? So that you can follow this, because it's all about eliminating those losses. What's up, Samo? And if you can eliminate those losses in life, like dealing with that negative energy, you're actually adding on wins. And I don't think that's preached enough, Warren.
yeah. The one thing that all winners have in common is their losses. Like the one thing that all champions have in common is the number of times winners have lost more times than losers. Winners always lose more time, or not lose, but like fail. You know what I'm saying? Like moving forward past
Yeah.
defeat. Winners always have been through more shit than losers because losers stop at the first loss. Winners keep going.
And I think, and I think what people are going to misconstrue about this is that, oh, well, then how was that good? But what people don't understand is, and I think, and I think that this is what Warren, sorry, is trying to allude to, is like we'll have a lot of losses, and a lot of those losses will be small, and a lot of those losses will be medium, and we'll have some large losses too, because you know what I'm saying, like we take higher risk for higher rewards. But what he's saying is that with the wins, they overcome those losses most of the
Yeah,
time tenfold,
yeah,
especially whenever you're talking about the back end.
exactly, exactly. Like fail, like what they say, fail forward, right? Like keep moving forward. Uh, a domino falls down, but it makes it whole happen. Like the whole domino thing wouldn't happen without the domino falling down. So it's
Hmm.
okay. It's okay to fall down, and we've all seen those like those quotes. Like it doesn't matter how many times you fall down; it's just how quickly you get back up. Like that's true. You know, definitely don't see temporary defeat. Like they say, the war and the battle are two separate things.
I
And
like
just
that.
and just because you lose a battle does not mean you've lost the war.
Because the war is a lifetime, especially whenever you're talking about the war on life.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, let's. I got to get running, but let's do this
That's
again
cool.
soon. Let's do this
Let's
again
do
soon.
it.
I think we got a hell of a lot of content. You want to close it up? don't know if you have
Yeah,
a closing.
listeners, viewers, because this is going on YouTube, I'll make sure to post a link to everything. If at any time you like what you hear throughout any time through this video, timestamp it, drop a comment, drop a like, let us know what you think.
Yes.
Because your questions, your comments, your anything, like your engagement, um, can become their own episode. And that's what's so great. And we'll always
Yeah.
shout you out. Like we always show love. So like, comment, subscribe. Let's sip this tea. Um, Warren, I'll give you the last words.
Yeah, guys. Just whatever you guys do this week, just make sure that you take responsibility for it. If you if your paycheck's a little bit smaller than you were hoping for, um, or maybe you burnt your dinner, don't blame it on the person who packed that meat at the deli. You burnt it, not him, right? So just take responsibility for the shit that you do, and then you'll have more control over your life. That's
Yes.
that's what I want people to.
Warren,
That's what I want people to hear.
yes. Stay safe out there. Um, Love you, man. Can't wait to see you in person again, but this is always the second best thing.
Absolutely, man. We'll do another one of these real soon.
Got to, got to. All right, player. Over and out.